We got to hit on this Shedeur Sanders. This feels like the right place to do it to me because he slides all the way to the fifth round, and there's a million and one theories as to how and why this could have happened. And Coach, one of the theories that gets brought up a lot is the interview process, and that he didn't interview well with these teams. Take us inside that interview process and what that's like. What kind of questions? What's the dynamic? How does that all go down?
Yeah, and basically at the combine, you have 15 minutes to sit with the guys and you want to find out about them. And then the guys you're really interested in, you're going to go on campus or you're going to get somewhere and talk to them and interview with them. Shedeur didn't talk to everybody. And that to me was a mistake, number one. And then number two, you have to go sell yourself and you have to make people comfortable with you. I can remember we drafted Dallas Clark in the first round and we flew him in that night. And he was the most surprised person in the world because he said, Coach, you talked to me for 15 minutes at the combine. You never asked me one question about football. All you asked about was my family and growing up and what I wanted to do after football's over. I thought you were just blowing me off. I said, Dallas, that's what I wanted to find out. If you're going to be a great teammate, if you're going to be a Colt personality, that's what teams want to know. And that's what they want to figure out, Rod.
Wow.
Is this so? What's the question overall, Jack? Just making
What do you
sure.
think happened, Rod? Take Shedeur Sanders. What do you think happened?
I think you just look at him and his team just didn't handle everything the right way. I guess they thought that he was going to be a top 5 pick, top 10 pick, and just the way he conducted himself. When I heard that he turned down interviews, that's when everything changed for me. Because as a young man, all the people that you interview with, eventually down the line, you're going to have to interact with those guys. They're going to be general managers and personnel directors for other teams and stuff like that. Just take the time, give yourself an opportunity, like you said, Coach, to sell yourself to these people. And when he started turning down, to me, that showed a level of boost. That showed, hey, I'm too good to talk to these teams. And after that, my whole perspective changed on him. And that's what went down. He thought that he was better than what he was. Now he's a 5th round pick, just like me. He's got to get it out the dirt, Jack.
He does have to get it out the dirt, and he's going to also have to beat out 4 or 5 quarterbacks, to make the team, but to get a chance to play. I mean, that is going to be one of the most crowded quarterback rooms now between Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett and Watson, of course, who still has the injury, but Gabriel, and now you're going to have Shedeur Sanders. I mean, Coach, when you think about that quarterback room and 5 guys being in there, how do you play this? Are you thinking about trading these guys as it goes? What are you thinking putting that room together?
Yeah, that's very difficult because normally in your quarterback room, you have your guy that's, your number one quarterback. How many reps does he need? You're going to figure that out for him. And then you've got a guy that you want to develop and you're going to give him the rest of the reps. And it basically is 2 guys that you're really trying to get ready for the season. Well, they've got 5 guys they've got to figure out who is our number one guy. We don't know that. Which one of these young guys? Is it Shedeur? Is it Gabriel? Is it Pickett? Who are we trying to develop? And there's not enough reps to develop all 5 of those guys, Rod.
Right. Yep, you're right. It's not enough reps. And think about Deshaun Watson. I said it last year that I would send him home, pay him, and he would not be part of my quarterback room. I do believe that Shedeur is better than Gabriel. And if I had to put some money on it, I would say that they probably start Flacco over Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett ends up being the 2nd quarterback. And I think Shedeur, given some reps and some time to develop, I think he'll be that 3rd quarterback. And maybe Gabriel goes on practice squad or something like that. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm just going to caution you, don't sleep on Dylan Gabriel.
I'm not, Coach.
I had him in the 1st round at the Pittsburgh
I was going to say.
draft. I watched this kid. Now, I watch Oregon like you watch Tennessee. And I saw Bo Nix do some of these same things last year. This young man has played a lot of football. He's played in different systems. He's mobile. His teammates gravitate to him. He's gonna scratch some heads. He's gonna have people saying, okay, I don't know about this guy before it's all.
Well, maybe that's why he's a 3rd round pick too, right?
Yeah, I think they saw something in him that they like, and I can understand why.
And you talk about leadership, and that's what they need at the quarterback position, coach. I don't care if it's a veteran, I don't care if it's a young guy like Gabriel. They need consistency and they need a leader, somebody that when they come into work, they can say, you know what, we have a chance. We have a chance to be successful because we got this guy. And when you don't have that, you just don't have a lot of hope.
And let me say this about Shedeur. Shedeur is a smart quarterback. He knows the game. He's in that football background. He's got intangibles. He has played and gotten his teams better, both schools he's been at. So he's got a lot going for him. He's just got to figure out, I don't have to be the entertainer. I just have to go in and be the quarterback. And if he does that, he's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, coach, that is so well said. And if Jack, if you ask me a question, say, what advice would you give Shedeur? And I think my biggest advice would tell him, just make sure that your motivation is pointed in the right direction. You don't want to lash out to the media because they're not your enemies. You want to embrace the media. You want to try to establish a relationship with those guys. And away from your father, you want to establish who you are as a person. So work really hard to gain the trust and respect of your teammates, because that's who you're trying to impress. It's your teammates. That's who I always tried to impress, was my teammates. And then the coaches came after that because they know how hard you're working. If you're meeting with the quarterback coach, if you're staying after throwing routes like Peyton Manning used to do before and after games and stuff like that, coach. So that's what I would tell Shedeur, is make sure your motivation is just pointed in the right direction, and don't make the media out to be the bad guys. Establish a relationship with them and things will work out a lot better for you.
Yeah. And I look at your old quarterback, Tom Brady, and we see him now, and he's in social media a lot, and he's doing a lot of things, and he's all over TV. When he was coming up in 2001, 2002, I never saw Tom Brady on anything other than you guys practicing.
Hey, that's it. And it's funny, coach, because I remember an incident that Tom had an opportunity to do a signing of something, and they offered him a ton of money. And he was like, nope. And
Nope.
I'm like, you turning that down? Nope, it's football time. And that's what Shedeur needs to be. He needs
Yeah.
to be all football. You talked about it, coach. He's a smart kid. He's had his father. He's been raised the right way. And he is a humble kid. He just has to show it. Stop worrying about being an entertainer, entertaining everybody. You entertain when you're on a football field.
Yep. I wonder if he got bad information, or if just opinions changed as the process played out. Because when guys, before they decide to leave school, especially in this NIL era where he could have made maybe $10 million, maybe more, if he had gone back to Colorado next year playing quarterback, they get information from the teams that, hey, you're going to be a this round pick, or you're going to be a second round pick, or a third round pick. This dude thought he was going to be a first round pick. I mean, maybe a top 15 pick, probably did think he'd be a top 15 pick. But then when you go and you fall through 4 rounds, you end up being a fifth round pick. There's some big disconnect there that happened. Like, I'm sure now he's thinking, man, I wish I could go back to Colorado where I know I'm the starter and I'm getting paid. I mean, there's still a chance he could legitimately get cut, coach, and not end up making this roster. He's got his work to do to make the roster here.
Well, he's made his decision and he's going to go forward. And the great thing about it is we've seen that it doesn't matter. I mean, all the draft is what people think. What training camp and preseason and what you do with your career is what you are. So Brock Purdy is the last pick in the draft. He might have been the best quarterback that year, production
Yeah.
wise. Tom Brady was picked in the 6th round. Other guys have been picked down the line and they come through and they play. So don't worry about that at this point. Don't worry. I might have made a mistake into that. Just, hey, I'm going forward. I'm going to be the best I can be.
Coach, you're talking to the 145th pick in the 5th round, one pick after Shedeur. And that's what you do, man. You say, you know what? I was given an opportunity, and you look at that 5th round as an opportunity to get your foot in the door. And then after that, man, you got to go ball out. And I end up becoming a 4-time All-Pro. I won a couple Super Bowls. So it's not where you start. It's working hard. It's being humble. It's doing the right things, respecting your teammates and your coaches. And when you get your opportunity, man, you have to ball. And that's the thing. That's the pressure on him, because he's not going to get a ton of reps. So the reps that he gets in and he gets, they have to be quality, clean reps. And they have to know that he's getting better each day and he's putting the work in.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.